most of our students are Canadians or immigrants, and we know the importance of opening the doors. Many are the first in their families to go to university, and we want them to be successful. I have been actually engaged in many conversations with potential donors, and the question is why we should support those students. And my answer has been always, actually, this is to support our country.
Universities grow through the people who believe in them. Through students, alumni, community partners, and the generosity of those who help to build opportunities for the next generation. I am Donna Chinloy Chan, and this is the Forefront Next Gen Generosity. Today, I'm joined by Toronto Metropolitan University President Mohamed Lachemi to talk about leadership, community, and how generosity helps shape the future of higher education. Let's dive in. Hello, Mohamed. How are you today?
I'm very good, Chancellor. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming onto the show. The topic is generosity in the university community. As president of TMU, you've helped bring support from a wide range of communities and encouraged more people to see themselves as part of the university story. That I know. How have you seen philanthropy change opportunities for students and the broader community at TMU?
But first of all, I'm so happy to be in this conversation with our alumni chancellor. And I know this is a topic that you have been championing for years, for decades, and I want to take the opportunity to thank you from the bottom of my heart for what you have done for the TMU community. Talking about generosity and philanthropy, you and your late husband, you set the bar very high for our community, and so glad to be part of this journey.
Thank you.
And the reality of TMU, we have always attracted students from different communities from across the GTA and beyond. And we know that GTA is probably the most diverse community in the country, if not in the world. So we do have many students coming from different communities representing the world. And many of those students are actually the first in their families to go to a post-secondary institution. And we know how that is important for them, for their families. A lot of new Canadians. We do have actually very small percentage of international students. So most of our students are from the region, Canadians or immigrants. And we know the importance of opening the doors of post-secondary education to them. And many are the first in their families to go to university. So that's kind of, we should celebrate that. We're so proud to be able to attract those students. And this is why our commitment to be inclusive is also to help communities around us attract them, but also make sure that we support them. When they get in is one aspect of the whole journey, and we want them to be successful, and we want them to be to prepare them to have successful careers. And I have been actually engaged in many conversations with donors, potential donors, and the question is why we should support those students. And my answer has been always, actually, this is to support our country.
Country, absolutely. Yeah.
We want them to have a positive impact in our society and our country. And I feel the responsibility, but also I want to share that with others, that their success is our success as a country.
Given the diverse range of students at the university, what is our approach to belonging, and how do initiatives like the Bold Women Collective help build community and support students?
I think the short response to your question is we have to be deliberately inclusive. Because if we have that as part of our core values, people will feel that we are serious about helping them and they
Right.
feel supported. But also we want them to have that sense of belonging. And if they feel supported and they belong to this community, they can thrive. And that's exactly the approach that we use. And of course, we attract students from different communities because we are probably when you visit, and you know that, when you visit our campus or you attend our convocation ceremonies and you attend many of them, you see the world in front of you. You see, I mean, based on the names, based on, of course, other aspects of diversity, well, this is the world before us. And each community has its own specific needs, and we have to recognize that not all students are the same. We
Yes.
need really to provide them with a set of supports that can really address their specific needs. And of course, we know that there is no one size fits for all solutions, but for all issues. But we have the importance to have to recognize the importance of to listen to each of those communities, understand their needs, but also work with them to meet those needs. And at the end of the journey, those people are the ones that will shape our commitment to
Right.
be supportive to different communities, but also our commitment to success of our own students.
Your journey from arriving in Canada, oh my gosh, that is really a great Canadian story.
Exactly 40 years ago this year.
Oh my gosh. Uh, well,
Many,
congratulations.
many milestones.
You came from North Africa, then you went to Quebec.
I did all my education in French, so all my 3 university degrees are in French.
Je parle un petit peu français.
Je parle français aussi.
But tell us a little bit about your journey from an international student to leading a major Canadian university is one that resonates with so many people in our community and beyond. How has this experience shaped the way you think about leadership and opportunity?
Thank you for the question. This is also a very personal thing for me, and I'm always sharing this with others because part of telling the story is actually to engage students about the importance of education, how education can open doors, how education can change lives. I can tell you that I would not have been successful without a pathway to education. And of course, talking about the importance of generosity and philanthropy. I mean, my family did not have the means to support me to be successful. They had the drive, especially my mom, because she did not have any formal education. She wanted her kids, and I am the oldest, to be successful in school. But I got support and also advice from others. So I understand the value of creating opportunities for others because people believed in me, created opportunities for me. But also I grew up, as you mentioned, I was born and I grew up in North Africa. My hero at that time, it was probably for the majority of people in Africa and beyond, was Nelson Mandela. And Nelson Mandela was in jail for 20 plus years. And I always use this quote from him that education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. So for me, that was kind of the tool that I grew up with, thinking about, of course, myself, my brothers and sisters. I have two sisters and two brothers, but also we're talking about my journey into leadership. But that's actually is something that stayed with me, and I learned also in this journey. You mentioned I came 40 years ago as an international student. I was also shaped by experiences from other international students. I had most of my friends were international students coming from different parts of the world, and I learned a lot from them. I learned a lot about their struggles, and we struggled together, but we are still in touch with many of my friends because that kind of was the power and the support that I needed as a student. But also to understand how education can really shape societies. And of course, I still consider myself now a, a very privileged person or leader because we are helping next generation of leaders
Yes.
to have a better future. But as I said from the beginning, is really for our society to benefit from those talented people.
Absolutely. And did you ever receive scholarships?
I survived with scholarship from day one.
Wow.
Absolutely. My family did not have the means to support me. So for my university education, I spent many, many years because I got my bachelor in engineering and then master's and PhD for all the three uh, uh, stages of my life. But scholarship was key for me to be successful.
One of the things that you did as president was to launch the President's Awards to Champion Excellence, the PACE program, which I had been privileged to be part of as a donor. What role does leadership play in encouraging generosity and setting the tone for a culture of giving?
I mean, as I said, that is something part of my commitment to give back. And why that was important for me, because I took the initiative based on my own experience and my own pathway to leadership. And during my installation 10 years ago as president, that was the first initiative that I announced, and it challenged others to join me to support students who are in need. And tell you the truth, a lot of people, when I was discussing about putting a target, even target of $10 million, some people said, be careful, maybe you can put five. I said, no, I like to challenge myself because at the end of the day, you have to tell the story and you have to knock on doors and work with people like yourself. And it's our responsibility as leader to set the example and lead from the front by uh, making generosity a priority. And that's what the first thing I did as when I was installed as president, because we need to also demonstrate our own commitment to generosity and, of course, advocate for the value of giving, because for me, giving is not just an act, is actually a value.
Let's talk a little bit about the School of Medicine, which is, it's great excitement everywhere. I everywhere I go, I talk about this, even when the topic is not about it. I find a way to bring it up. The launch of the TMU School of Medicine brought together a new community of donors who wanted to help build something from the ground up. What did it take to get people to believe in that vision?
The idea was born out of necessity uh, because during the pandemic, we have seen how communities suffered. And we have seen also how our healthcare system almost collapsed in many uh, regions, including the Peel region. I remember during COVID, the city of Brampton declared a major crisis because they could not handle with that. They could not handle the situation with COVID. And actually, this is how our university started discussing the possibility of bringing a solution to the crisis that we deal with in terms of healthcare, especially the need of more uh, family medicine. We know that we have 2.5 million Ontarians without family physicians, access to family physicians. So the combination of the challenges we faced during the pandemic, the need and the shortage also for family doctors came as actually a huge opportunity for TMU because I always believe that with challenges, we have opportunities. And we jumped on the opportunity to come up with something different from other existing medical schools. And this medical school was really to address the needs of those communities that were struggling. It's all, or most of it is about primary care. But also we want, this is why I mentioned the consultation with different communities. We want them to tell us what kind of medical school they needed. And we heard a lot about the importance of training doctors that are culturally competent because of the diversity of the community there. We heard a lot about them telling us you need to bring more technology in healthcare because technology can solve many of the problems, and we listened to that. We also heard from them the importance of paying attention to our aging population, seniors who were struggling during the COVID. And we put the foundation for this medical school also in consultation with the community. So, as I mentioned earlier, people are telling me now, this is our medical school. But I'm actually very happy because also leaders in the communities that we deal with are coming also with checks. We also opened this year 2 integrated health clinics in Brampton, not only to train the next generation of doctors, but also to train healthcare providers from different disciplines in nursing, social work, and midwifery and other programs, but also create opportunities for people to access family doctors. The 2 clinics that we opened this year will have 14,000 patients attached to family doctor. That's huge. And also we serve the population there instead of going to wait hours and hours in emergency rooms. The 2 clinics will serve 100,000 patients, will have 100,000 patient visits per year. So those are contributions that also are appealing to donors. And some are coming with big checks, some with a modest contribution. But the most important thing for them is really to support this initiative that will benefit all of them.
So there's a School of Medicine, but you also have the law school, which we started in COVID, and then there is a Student Wellbeing Center, and then there is the student housing. Tell me, it in a decade, you will leave us and more.
I'm actually so proud of our community who embraced those initiatives. A leader can never do anything by himself or herself. It has to be done with a strong commitment from the community. And I always give credit to TMU for being a community that is full of change makers. It's a community that is always looking for opportunities to challenge the status quo. And it's a community that is always helping us push boundaries. Of course, our university has had tremendous growth in the past 2, 3 decades. I mean, we are a young university. We became a university in 1993, and since then we have grown considerably. However, I would say for the last 10 years, we wanted also the growth to be calculated in areas of needs. And I'm so proud of the work that we did. You mentioned the law school, but we wanted actually a law school that is different from other law schools. When we started the conversation with the government uh, about giving us permission to start law school, the response was, oh no, we have two great law schools in the city. We don't need a third one. My response to them was, I totally respect the two institutions that have the two law schools. They're great. However, we need a different one. Why? Because the mindset of lawyers, we need to change it to make it for us, for this law school to be more accessible, which is a priority for us. But also, we want the law school to deal with the legal profession with more technology, more access to justice, but also take away some of the focus just on Bay Street, to take it to all communities that are struggling to access a legal profession. To the point when we get the approval, and you mentioned that we started during the pandemic. It's not easy to start a new law school during the pandemic, but the Law Society actually, based on their assessment of the work that we have done, they said, your law school has an experiential learning opportunity embedded in it. To students, when they finish the 3-year program, they don't necessarily need 1 year of articling. But that's a huge, huge improvement. Of course, if student wants to do 1 year of articling, it's a bonus, but it's not a necessary step for them to go to the bar, which is that's in itself, it's a big improvement. So that kind of the way that we looked at the law school. You mentioned the Student Wellbeing Center that has been named recently after our late board member, Nadir Mohamed. We have seen in the past many years that students are struggling with mental health. They're struggling to access services, accommodations for people with disabilities, academic accommodation for people who are in need for those services. So we decided to come up with a hub. Instead of sending them to different services, different offices, we are creating one single hub for all services. And that's the essence of establishing the Student Wellbeing Center, is really to bring all those supports together to be in one place under one roof. And I also take the opportunity here to recognize the support in terms of philanthropy for many leaders, including yourself, for coming from beginning, saying this is something needed for our students. And we have been actually making a lot of progress in the exercise of securing funding to finish the project. And the project is set to be completed next year, 2027. So for us, is always making easier for students to access and more coordinated efforts to support them and get them all the support that they need. I mean, the other project that I'm also very proud is access to affordable housing, and we As now we have a partnership with Cedar Podium to bring a tower of 21 floors, accommodating almost 1,400 beds. And the bottom line of this project that we are very proud to work with Cedar Podium is more affordability for students, because we know all the challenges that students are dealing with in an environment of, especially real estate in downtown Toronto, is not cheap. And this is another project that I'm so proud to be part of, bringing some solutions to our students.
President Lachemi, as you finish your term as president of TMU, what do you hope the next generation of alumni, of partners, and change makers will contribute to the future of higher education?
My hope is always for people to keep an open mind about the importance of post-secondary education. I started this interview by saying that it's an investment in our future as a nation. It's an investment in the future of our society, because when talented people are successful, they will bring solution to all of us. And that's, I think, the bottom line. And of course, I'm privileged to be in the position because we deal with the future of students. Students put a great deal of trust in us and come to the university to start a journey that will define their future. To be part of that journey, it's privileged. For me, I've been at the university for 28 years now. It's really a privilege to see students coming in, but also we all celebrate students during convocations. We arm them with the tools to be successful. And I want everybody around them to be mindful of the importance of supporting them, and also investing in our university, because our society is in need of talented people. We need their energy. We need their ideas to make a difference and find solutions. And we know we have many challenges in the society around us, but also when you look at the global perspective, we need real change makers.
Mohamed, I personally would like to thank you for your tenure as president. But before that, you really loved and cared for TMU. And I want to thank you for that as well.
Merci. Thank you so much. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to have this conversation, but also thank you for all your support. And I feel blessed to have you as our chancellor.
Thank you for watching The Forefront, Next Gen Generosity. I am your host, Donette Chinloy Chang. You can also be part of the next generation of giving and community impact. Learn how you can make a difference by visiting torontomu.ca/giving. This podcast was produced by Jasmine Coleman and edited by Matt Weeks. Amanda Cupido is the executive producer. Thanks also to the team from the university, Hawaii Fadal, Meredith Jordan, Rivi Frankel, and Krishan Mehta.